So today, what came to me was to have a chat about how our inner world and our outer world are reflective of each other, and whether or not we believe that, or get with that, or feel that, or know that, and why or why not. So, playing with the idea and the thought that our outer world is a reflection and a mirror of our inner world. Just immediately, me saying that, we can tune into our body and how our body feels about it. That's getting with what is right here and now at the very start. Is right when I heard that phrase, how did your body feel about it? So that's getting real at the start. Number one, that tuning in that way that we feel and sense our way through lets us know it's our gauge and our guide to whether or not we believe something. Our belief system can be very subtle. It can be even out of view until we really start tuning in to how we feel and how when something's said, how it feels to us. It can be our little red flag to go, part of me doesn't believe that, or part of me says, yes, that is so true. So it's just a matter of tuning in and really checking in to see how we feel about something. So getting with what we believe and know helps all parts of ourselves get into harmony with each other. You know, so we'll talk a little bit in this little segment about the inner and outer world reflection, and we'll also talk about our belief systems and how we can get in alignment with all of our beliefs, whatever they are. You know, I'm just saying, for experimental sake, if you get the feeling when I mentioned our outer world is a projection of our inner world, or a mirror of our inner world, that it doesn't feel good to you or doesn't feel in harmony with your belief, I'm just saying, hey, you know, if you're open to trying something different, how about giving it, 2 weeks? Give it 10 days, give it a couple of weeks to play with this idea. Hey, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to play with the idea that my outer world is a reflection of my inner world. Part of me doesn't believe it. I can feel some resistance coming up when I hear that. But I am going to be open, and I'm going to check it out just to see. And at the end of 3 weeks, then I'll revisit my belief and see what I think at that time. Hey, it doesn't cost anything to give it a try. So, that said, looking at how we feel and how we experience our outer world and what's going on can give us clues to where our resistance is and where our belief system is. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to us, and like I was saying earlier, some are hidden and some are kind of to the side, and they aren't all up and front and center all the time. So it takes really being conscious and awake to feel our way through and see what feels right to us and what doesn't. And that's where we can take some awareness and some consciousness to see what's up there. There's something out of harmony within us. So, if something comes up and I feel like, I'm not getting a total yes on that. Let me see what that's about. I just search my body. I go in just like right here. I go, how does that feel? And I really take all my awareness and all my attention, all my focus into wherever. Perhaps I start with a physical sensation. Ooh, I felt my right arm kind of tighten up or twitch when I heard that. You go into your right arm. And that just means close your eyes and take your awareness and consciousness in there, and then once you're in here, take it to your heart and feel, what do I feel right here? What is that? And if this is where if you're a visual person, maybe a visual comes up to you and you can see, maybe it was you when you were 12 years old and some situation begins to unfold. Or you have a sensation about a certain time and space where something happened. Trust this process. Even if you don't get something the first couple of times, at least having body consciousness about where something is held in your body and taking the presence, the consciousness and awareness of your higher self there. God, help me figure this out. Shine some light on this sensation I'm having. Give me some awareness here. You're having this conversation with your higher self that we talked about. This is where you pull your higher self in. If you don't have if you're not practiced at being visual or auditory or sensing, just take your consciousness to the body. Hey, tune me in to what this is and what this is about, and help me shine light on this and transform it. So you bring in your assistance here. This is bringing awareness, and this is bringing in release and relief of whatever the resistance is. Now, how does this play out in your world? It plays out in all aspects of that's involved in you creating the things you want to create and why they're not happening. We already know when they are happening, we're not really concerned much about it. That's a great validation too, to be aware of when you do manifest something. Hey, I'm getting this, I'm gotten it. I asked for that, I just got it. Great, build that muscle up of validation of when you ask, you receive, because you get everything you ask for, period, the end. You just do. So, I guess looking at our beliefs, you know, some say that we have had to take on many different ways of being and put on many hats and many roles and had to act certain ways around certain situations and had to act certain ways around certain people, that we started taking on this whole different personas and personalities. And there's a lot of agreements about this. And, you know, limiting schizophrenia and limiting psychotic multiple personality people to just a select few is a disservice to us all, because it's total denial. It's, again, pointing out there people that have issues. Guess what? They're in our outer world. And the reality is, every one of us have many personalities. We have forked off from the space of oneness so many times. Going to work, we're a different person than we are when we're kicked back on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon with our friends. Going to church, we're a different person than we are the rest of the day of the week. Being around this person, we're completely different than we are around this person. We are so incongruent as a whole, and just owning it, admitting it, realizing it, and seeing, yeah, I do have a lot of aspects. Some that have been nourished and nurtured and needed more than others really grow into an entity within us and take on a life of its own within our body. This person, you know, we have certain personalities that are very strong, and others that we haven't had to energize so much, but they're there. So the whole idea behind this is a lot of different personalities have a lot of different beliefs. So how does that show up in our outer world? How does that show up? How does that affect when we want to manifest something, when we want to create something in our world, when we have a dream, a vision, a purpose and a point that we want to have happen? How does having all these different kind of personalities with different thoughts and ideas and ways of being and behaviors and energies affect our creation? Well, this is my take on it.